Hey, generator installers, Mitch here at SwiftSocial. If you're running your own Facebook and Instagram ads for generator installations, there's a pretty good chance that you might be making this targeting mistake that I'm going to show you that could be costing you a lot of money. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can fix that. So, first of all, what we got to understand before I give you the solution is a little bit of context as far as how Facebook targeting works. And this is going to help you make the rest of your ads more effective in general, too. So, when I set a radius like this, and I'm just using Chicago as an example, but this is applicable for wherever you live, wherever you're doing generator ads at, whatever your radius is, right? Whatever your target area, the same thing. So if we set the targeting options, to age 30 to 65 plus or whatever it is, or usually I'd recommend probably 40 plus for generators, right? The Facebook algorithm is going to find people within this area that we give it right here. It's going to find people that are age, in this case 30 plus. It's going to find all genders. And the algorithm is most likely going to lock in and try to show it to people who are, number one, most likely homeowners. And number two, most likely have a history of filling out other forms and stuff like that in the past and becoming leads for other things too, right? So what happens though sometimes is, even though this is your radius for where you want to get the leads in and show your ads in, sometimes if you've run your own ads, you'll notice that from time to time, maybe you'll get people from outside of the service area. And you're like, why is that? Because, I set this area. It shouldn't be showing ads to people outside of the area. But what happens a lot of the time, especially, I'm recording this on Labor Day weekend, actually. And so I've actually noticed this with a lot of my clients too. It's not a huge deal, but I've noticed an uptick in it. Is what happens is people travel. So, like, let's say somebody fits all these criteria. They like to fill out forms on Facebook. They're a homeowner. They're age 40 plus. They're like your perfect type of person, but they live in Rockford, right? Instead of Chicago in this radius. And then they travel into Chicago. Maybe they're going to the airport. Maybe they're going to see family over the weekend, like Labor Day weekend, or they're on vacation or whatever it is. But they travel inside of your service area and they usually live outside of it. They meet all the criteria for somebody that, according to the Facebook algorithm, is a good potential lead for you. So what happens is Facebook's probably going to show them your ad, right? And if Facebook shows them your ad and it's a good person, there's a good chance that they fill out the form, right? And they go ahead, they become a lead, they fill out your Facebook lead form. Hopefully you don't use those, or your website, whatever. They become a lead though, and then they go back home, right? Because they were just there for the weekend, then they go back home. And you're like, what happened? Like, I'm only supposed to be showing ads to people in here, and I got someone from Rockford, or even crazier sometimes, you'll get people from all the way out of state. You get somebody who, maybe they're from Florida, and they came, up to O'Hare, International Airport over here, and they saw it while they were at the airport because they're scrolling through Facebook, and they filled out your form and whatever. And you're like, how am I getting leads in Florida? But I have a radius in Chicago. Hey, real quick, if you're a home standby generator installer and you want 3 to 5 plus additional generator installs per month, which is about $30,000 to $100,000 plus in new revenue every single month, I'll build you an advertising system just like the ones I show you how to build in my videos here to do that for you, and I'll run it for you totally for free for 2 weeks. And if you don't love working with me, you never pay me a penny for it. So if that sounds interesting, go ahead and click the link below to book a quick phone call with me in the description, and that's go.swiftsocial.org. And I'm looking forward to talking to you. Thanks. Right. So what happens a lot of the time, and this is what I was getting to earlier. What happens a lot of the time is, to try to solve this, what people will do is they'll do this, for example. So like, let's say we'll keep using the Rockford example. People will do, okay, well, I don't want to get leads from Rockford. I only want 30 miles around Chicago, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go put exclusions, and then, oops, can't type, and then Rockford, right? And then they'll do something like this, and they'll go even bigger. They're like, I don't want anybody outside of that 30 miles. So they'll go ahead and they'll do even bigger. We want it to like get as close as possible. They'll do this, right? And they'll go, okay, I want to exclude 45 miles around here. And then maybe they go up and they put one in Kenosha, right? Or Waukegan, and then they exclude this whole area up here. And then they go down below and you exclude this whole area. And on the surface, if you don't understand Facebook targeting, this seems like a good solution, because it's like, okay, well, I don't want to show my ads to the people in those areas. I was getting leads outside of my service area, right? But the problem is, it never showed the ads to people outside of your service area. It's just that the people from outside of your service area who met all the criteria temporarily traveled into your area, saw the ads, filled it out, and then went home. So what you're actually doing, so even though you're trying to make it so that people outside of your service area don't see your ads, they're already not seeing your ads. So what you're doing unintentionally actually is you're making it so that people who live inside of your service area, who are potentially qualified leads, right? Who, maybe they're 40 plus, they're a homeowner, they like to do home improvement stuff, they want a generator, it's like your perfect customer. But what happens if that person who, maybe they live inside of this area right here. Their home is in, you know, I don't know, their home's inside of this 30-mile radius. What happens when that person works in Crystal Lake? So they spend, half their time in Crystal Lake and stuff like that. And then when they're on their lunch break, they're in Crystal Lake and they're scrolling through Facebook and they never see your ads, right? And then the Facebook algorithm picks it up and they're like, whoa, 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 this person's in an excluded area, even though they hit all these other criteria. Let's not show them ads even when they go home, because they go back and forth like, oh, we're going to exclude them, right? So what you're doing unintentionally when you set up your targeting like this and you have these exclusions is you're actually making it so that you're excluding potentially super qualified customers or leads who temporarily travel outside of your service area, maybe for work, maybe for vacation, whatever. You're actually excluding them from your targeting, and you're actually kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So what you want to do is you just want to keep the targeting as simple as possible. If you get leads from outside of your service area frequently, number one, obviously check this, make sure that you do just have only the area that you want selected, maybe even tighten it up a little bit. But instead of trying to address that problem using the exclusions and stuff like that and excluding areas nearby, the better route to go is just by trying to make it a little bit more clear, maybe in your ad messaging, in your survey, in your landing page, about your service area and where you do generator installs, instead of actually trying to exclude places in the targeting. So that's my tip. If you guys were previously doing this, definitely stop that right away, because there's a lot of potentially really qualified leads that could have just been a little bit outside of your service area, or who travel outside of the service area for work, for vacation, for whatever. But they're the type of people that you want, but you might actually be shooting yourself in the foot and excluding them by doing your targeting like that. So keep the targeting simple. If you have problems with leads outside of your service area frequently, address that inside of the ad copy itself, or on the landing page, or on your website, or wherever you send the people, wherever there's content that they're going to be reading a lot. Mention it in that content, but don't try to address that problem in the targeting. So hope this helped you guys. Yeah, thanks.